The problem is not that diabetes, heart disease, and mental illness runs in your family. The problem is no one runs in your family. Hi, I'm Dr. Salman Majeed. Welcome to my channel. Today is World Mental Health Day, and we'll talk about 5 key ideas to take care of your mental health. First, let me start with a quick adaptation of a famous story of a fisherman and a businessman. It was something like a businessman goes to a coastal village where he sees a fisherman on the beach catching some very nice tuna. As he's getting ready to leave, he says, "Are you not going to catch more fish?" And fisherman says, "No, that's enough for a couple days. I'm going to get a good lunch with my wife and kids, then play with my kids, and in the evening, I will hang out with my buddies and then get a good sleep." The businessman says, "Listen, I'm a PhD in business management. You're doing it all wrong." Fisherman says, "How so?" He says, "Well, here's what you should do. You should catch more fish, sell extra from your need. As you get more revenue, then you get bigger boat and bigger nets, make your bigger business." The man says, "Then what?" And he says, "Well, then you make a whole fleet and then you go get into stock exchange and make even more money. Then what? After making a lot of money, 15, 20 years, you retire, go on a coastal area, be on a beach, spend time with your family and hang out with your friends." Fisherman says, "Well, that's what I'm doing." So that brings me to the point of, so what? And why are we running after the things we are? Have we asked ourselves that same question? So 5 quick ideas, and I'll come back to this point in the end. Number 1 thing for happiness is relationships. And now happiness has gotten a lot of hype, but the person who is enjoying themselves all day long, watching social media and TikTok and movies, or going for drugs and alcohol, they are also saying they're pursuing happiness. But is that really going to get them happy? Is that happiness in the moment? Yes. But is that going to make them happy? That's a different question. So there's a difference between hedonism, pleasure, and long-term happiness. Now, relationships, getting along well with your family, friends, would give you long-lasting happiness. How do we build those relationships? Well, we could do a whole separate video on that, but one quick tip is empathy. So when you are with your family, it's not only about what needs to be done or logistics or rules or agenda. It's also about spending quality time together, where there is not about the demands, or you should do this, or you need to do this, or you need to catch up on that. It's more about enjoying each other's company, having laughs, spending time together, and giving your family money versus time. Which one is better? Maybe both. That would be the best, right? The next key idea is healthy habits and routines. Your sleep is very, very important for your self-care. With more technology and with more social media use, insomnia has become even more problematic. There are 2 key themes of sleep. One, you have to have a consistent bed routine. Go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time, even on the weekends. It would make you happier and it would make your brain less confused about the sleep next day. And that's where one very common reason of insomnia is exactly that our body clock is not set to the same time. The other healthy habits include healthy eating. So nourishing yourself with healthy food, not overeating, not comfort or stress eating, healthy eating, and balancing the proportions with proteins as well, because the carbohydrates and sweet intake has increased significantly. The next tip is to enjoy nature, enjoy the sunlight, enjoy the cool breeze. Be intentional about that. We see a beautiful view, but we are in our mind, in our thoughts, or we are on our screens and we miss what is happening around us. Sunrise, sunset, or other nice views around you. Find those and enjoy them. Take a 5-minute break from your regular routines and enjoy that fresh air. Next tip is exercise. Running could be simple and that could still be sustained in this time frame. Now, one really good exercise model that I love and has been problematic in this coronavirus time is sports, because sports combine exercise with that relationship model, and also you have to collaborate and you enjoy that winning, losing, dealing with the failure, as well as enjoying the successes or building your skill set. So that's a good package. If you can still do that, that would be really helpful. And now the last and most important idea of today is about for what? The purpose. Why are we pursuing things that we are? What's the actual goal? Because so many times we're just going through the routines of the day and we lose the bigger side of the purpose. And I think in some ways, coronavirus time has given us some reality that, hey, so many things are not as meaningful. So is it really important to make too much more money at the cost of spending time with your family or with yourself? So where is the balance? And in today's economy, I think we could keep working for much longer periods of time, and there is always something else that could be done. But when do we stop? If you are a young parent and you're working, what is your goal? And then being satisfied, like the fisherman, it would be enough for me at this point. The purpose is also important for your legacy. So in bigger picture, why do we want to do certain things? Now, if you're pursuing good purpose, any cause, any social issues, that would cause more stress than not pursuing that. But in longer term, that will give you more happiness and will help your mental health to pursue something that you stand for. It doesn't matter if you succeed, it matters that you tried, and that will give you happiness and benefit your mental health immensely. Thank you so much for joining today. You take care of yourself, be kind to yourself. There is always help, there is always hope. Thank you.